Hey folks, welcome to the PlantStock channel. Today we have two news updates, one on the chef, the tattoo chef, and then on VRYYF, the very good food company. When it comes to the chef, they have actually completed now the acquisition of the two new facilities in New Mexico. So we're going to talk a little about that, but also we're going to talk a little about their Q1 earnings, as we've talked about already. But we've found out that there were some revisions that needed to be done. So we'll just talk about that just swiftly. And after that, we'll continue talking about the very good food company and that their Rupert Facility, their first production line is ready to go now and is actually about to start selling product. We're going to talk about what that actually means. And before I get to it, as always, I would truly appreciate an early thumbs up since it does help spread the video to more people. And if you want to keep getting more information regarding Tattoo Chef, the very good food company, and other plant-based companies, make sure to subscribe and don't forget that bell button. Thank you, people. I truly appreciate your help. And if we begin with taking a look at the stock chart for TTCF, it is really looking good here. Probably the best we've seen in a long time, at least the best we've seen in over a month here. So it's up about 7%. It was recently 7%. It's been trading up and down, but yeah, we're looking at good numbers here. So up at around 1925 now, looking good. So it does seem that the market has taken this new news positively. So let's move on then to the news. And there's actually two news items that we're going to talk about. But first, let's just talk about the acquisition. That's been done now. Like we know, with the Mexican Food Distributors, Inc. and Carson Tortilla Factory. And as we heard before, it was supposed to be around $35 million in cash. Now it seems to be around $37 million. But as we know, the New Mexico produces ready-to-eat Mexican food items for both retail and food services. And we talked about what that means when it comes to food services. Is the chef going to move into that, especially in the local areas to begin with? And could they expand upon that later? So I'm interested to know about that. But we also know that these new facilities is going to help diversify the chef's capabilities, right? They're going to expand their production capacity and accelerate the company's expansion to outside of the frozen food section. They want to move into more ambient products. So the Foods of New Mexico in Albuquerque currently produces Mexican foods, including quesadillas, burritos, and other handheld items, as well as sauces. And when it comes to the second facility, the Karsten, it's a brand new and will enable the company to have extensive tortilla manufacturing capabilities, as well as be able to customize the existing footprint. All right. So this is things we actually did expect, but it's really good to know that they've actually acquired it now and quite quickly without any major hiccups. But something we also find out here is that there has been some kind of hiccup when it comes to the expenses for Q1. So we're going to take a look at that, what this means. So this new reclassification of expenses is important to understand. It's not a big worry here because they do let us know that this adjustment does not impact the trajectory of the brand or the reported revenue that they expect to get, the net income or adjusted EBITDA, or the cash balance they have, which is about $185 million. What we've heard so far. I'm not sure still if they're actually counting in before they actually bought these facilities, but I guess we'll find out in the new Q2 report that will be in August. But the net effect is an increase of $6.9 million to cost of goods sold, from $39 million to $45.9 million, and a reduction of both operating expenses from $20.7 million to $13.8 million. And gross profit from $13.7 million to $6.8 million by that same amount. And this is the interesting part here. I find that the gross margin was also reduced from 26% to 12.9% in the first quarter. The reclassification will be reflected on the Form 10Q filed today. I took a quick look at it. It's a lot of pages. I didn't have time to go through it totally. I tried to find something to get more of a clarification and didn't get that much more why the gross margin went from 26% to 12.9%. We already knew that it was a bit worse year over year because they have more expensive now. Because if we take a look at the Q1 report that we got last week, it was around 26%, and the year over year was 28%. So it was a decline, but not this much as we find out here, right? That's quite a big difference from 26% to 12.9%. But given the information we've gotten before, and when I took a look again at the Form 10Q that was filed today, it's basically that they talked about the more expenses that we've gotten now, considering that they're expanding, considering that they're putting in a lot of money into the different facilities. And that is usually the case, right? If you're a company that's disruptive and you're growing quickly, you usually need to spend more money before you make more money. So nothing strange there, but it's good to be cautious, of course. But the good thing is here that the company continues to expect full year 2021 revenue in the range of $235 million to $242 million. And as they've stated before, it could actually be more because they haven't counted in these new facilities that could, with time, actually produce another $200 million in revenue just from those facilities alone within the next 2 to 3 years. So that is to be expected, right? It is the same with adjusted EBITDA, that is still going to be around 2 million to 4 million. All right, but we actually got some more news just like an hour or 2 hours after this news from today. And it is that they're going to ship out more of their SKUs to their Whole Foods market stores. You know that they have about, I think, 2,600, 2,700 stores in Whole Foods where they sell their product. And now they're going to add 2 more SKUs in some of those stores. It actually says here nationwide. So I don't know if that means all of those stores. Let's hope so. Let's presume so. And that's going to be the organic greens and zucchini spirals, which they've had before, of course. And this is basically their product, right? It's the zucchini spirals here and their organic greens, 5 different vegetables. So that's certainly good news, right? People, let me know down in the comments, what do you feel about these 2 good news regarding the chef, that they've gotten the facilities now? It's actually theirs now. On paper, it's theirs. And also that they have 2 new SKUs that is going out to different Walmart stores nationwide. So the news for the chef today, if we conclude that, it is very positive, obviously, that the facilities are theirs and that they have more products now up in Walmart. But when it comes to these reclassification of expenses, I don't find it super strange given the complexities of last year's endeavors, right? The whole SPAC merger is a complicating matter, so it might be difficult to know where all the expenses goes and how to calculate that in a proper way. It is a little strange. I do understand that people will probably be a little disappointed, especially on the gross margins there. But otherwise, what they do also reveal in the article, and I forgot to say that the company is in the process of preparing a preferability study to change the accounting methods being used to classify these expenses. And with the help of its advisors, hopes to complete that process in the second quarter, right? So that's something also to keep in mind. But I think it's good on the chef that they actually revealed this themselves, that they highlighted. It shows that they don't want to hide anything. And given the things that have happened the last month or so, we know that the CFO had to all of a sudden quit, or we don't actually know the 100% reasons behind it. And if anyone has heard anything else, please let me know in the comments. I'm really interested to hear that. But for now, it's more important for me to know that when it comes to their expected revenues, their expected EBITDA, that it's going to be the same, if not more, as we know concerning the new facilities, right? So I think that's the main case here. That's the most important to know. And like with most companies, especially companies that are growing really rapidly, this was a slight hiccup on the way. Nothing to worry about, in my opinion. I'm not worried about that. Obviously, also a really good sign that Walmart has taken in 2 more SKUs. And as I think most of us know, when it comes to Walmart, if nothing has changed, we didn't find out which new stores they've gotten, but Walmart is about 2,700 stores, right? So that's really good sign. Walmart is actually about, in total, 11,400 stores in the world and about 4,700 in the US. So that actually means, and internationally then is 6,100 and Sam's Club is about 600. So that means that there's ample room for the company to actually shoot out a whole array of more products to these different stores. Because if you're at about 2,700 and there are around 11,400 stores in the world and about 5,000 in the US, again, a lot of room to actually get their products out there. All right, folks, let's move on to VRYYF. So if we take a look at ticker symbol VRY and Canadian TSXV, we can see that it's up about 6.3%, about 4.2 Canadian dollars. And we know that the VRYYF version of it, the OCC version, is interconnected, so I'm expecting that to do well as well. Let's just take a look. Yep, right now it's actually looking a little better, about 7% up and almost 3.5 American dollars. So they've taken the news positively as well. And again, what is going on then with VRY? And let's find out here. Well, it is that the Very Good Food Company starts to produce saleable product at newest production facility and achieves new production target. So we're going to talk about that. So we knew that the Rupert Facility in Vancouver is basically up and running, but now they have finished testing 7 SKUs from the original plant-based product line under the Very Good Butchers brand. And it's going to be ready to start shipping out. And the really good thing here, what I like here, what we find out is that they're ready to soon, or they're getting ready to open the second production line or the second production shift to meet the fast-growing demand that they're going to expect from the sales that when they're moving into the North American customer base, right? And into the US specifically. But what I find really intriguing here is, of course, that they're also ramping it up to be ready for their upcoming launch on an online sales platform for the UK-based consumers. That's exciting news indeed, and that's something I want to talk more about soon, so stay tuned. And CEO Mitchell Scott had this to say, quote, "We are not only delivering on our ambitious production goals, but doing so flawlessly and in record time. The production of saleable product from our first production line at our Rupert facility is another exciting milestone in the Very Good Food Company's strategic growth, demonstrating our ability to exceed expectations as we expand our operational footprint, enter the wholesale partnerships, and engage new customers eager to rethink the way they eat." And as I've been saying so many times, that's what I love about this management team, about the CEO here, is that he keeps on delivering what he says, right? And now he actually seems like he's been understating what he said before. It's going better, right? And we'll also get some really interesting news here regarding their first facility, the original one, the OG, the Victoria facility. Production capacity at the Victoria facility has increased 20% to an average of 24,000 pounds per week from the previously reported capacity of 20 pounds per week in December 2020 due to the addition of new equipment and production labor. So obviously that's really good news. And we're also finding out that the Q1 report is coming out now in May 26. So just in a few days. I think it's actually next Wednesday. So not tomorrow, but next Wednesday. So we're looking forward to that, right? And what I do find exciting about this new Q1 report is not only what kind of numbers they've had, but specifically that they're going to talk more about their progress towards increasing sales in the US, adding to its plant-based product portfolio, and expanding company's operational capacity to meet global demand for their high-quality products. So looking forward to that. So I'm hoping I'm not the only one who's looking forward to hear what they are going to talk about in Q1. Folks, let me know down in the comments. What do you expect? What kind of revenues do you expect from Q1? And if I conclude the very update here, the very news, the very good news, what I find the most fascinating about this news is to talk about the UK, the launch, the online launch platform. Why do I find this very interesting? Well, again, as they've stated in an interview before, and that was actually more than I knew, is that now the UK is that country where you can see most sales when it comes to vegan and plant-based foods, right? It's most popular there in all of Europe. It used to be Germany. Now Germany is in second place. It's still really big in Germany. So a really smart move that they focus there first when they're moving into Europe. And then they've talked about moving into Germany as well. And they already have a ticker symbol in Germany, which is a really smart move. So really great news here. The only thing I would want to know, when are they actually planning to launch into the UK, right? I want it here in Europe now, come on. And I'm hoping that they're going to try to get merch or try to acquire some kind of facility here in Europe. They've been talking about Germany, right? And maybe we'll see one in the UK. So I'm really looking forward to that. All right, people, that was it for today. I truly hope you got some value from today's video. And if you did, make sure to smash that like button and help me out. And if you want to keep getting more information regarding the Very Good Food Company, Tattoo Chef, Beyond Meat, or other plant-based companies, make sure to subscribe and don't forget that bell button. And as always, this was not financial advice. These are just my own thoughts and ideas. It's important to do your own due diligence as always and invest safe. Have a lovely Tuesday, folks, and I hope to see you soon. Peace out.